What's going on, guys? Xbox Gut. Welcome back to another video. So in my last video I did tell you guys that I was gonna make a I built the ultimate Nintendo 3DS video, and that's exactly what today's video is gonna be about. So let's get right into it. So if you guys don't know, I have a original US model 3DS XL. It's a new one. I've had this one since it literally dropped, and no complaints about this console. It's one of the best gaming handhelds ever made. Cannot complain about it. It holds up. The quality, the build quality, everything about it, the screens, everything's amazing. You don't even need an outer protective shell or a screen protector or anything like that. This thing keeps its form perfectly. And yes, I do have custom firmware on this thing, but why is it not the ultimate 3DS, and why is this one the ultimate Nintendo 3DS? Well, I mean, with this one, it doesn't have a massive SD card like my Japanese one or anything like that. It doesn't have tons and tons of games, and you know, Japanese is just a little bit better. Personally, I'm a really big fan of this pink color scheme. I mean, pink isn't obviously my favorite color or anything like that, but the inside of it, beautiful cream white with the colored Famicom buttons. I love the Nintendo 3DS. So without further ado, let me actually show you what's on my US 3DS, which is actually being used by my girlfriend currently. It has all of her favorite games, and it's all color coded like how she likes it, but I'll still show you guys this one anyway. And then at the very end of the video, I will show you the ultimate Nintendo 3DS and what's on it. Alright guys, starting off with the US Nintendo 3DS. I mean, this is just all reliable. I took this out with me to Japan. Obviously, I didn't have my Japan one whenever I went out there. And this is all reliable before my girlfriend completely revamped it and made her own, you know, background and stuff like that. And with all these different games, she just color-coded it. And she deleted the games that she didn't want, and it's filled with some really good games. You know, it has tons of Pokemon games, Mario and Luigi, just push mode, tons of Cooking Mama, you know, some DS games like Legend of Starfy. You know, it has Hey Pikmin, has Animal Crossing, you know, just the classic stuff. And not to mention it has all these mods right here. Age Shop, classic Age Shop, you gotta love it. If you don't know what Age Shop is and you haven't had a custom firmware 3DS, you gotta get Age Shop. It is so worth it. Literally any 3DS DLC game, DSiWare game, free. Literally just download it, custom firmware, super easy. She has a lot of you know, Zeldas on there and stuff like that, but you know, pretty basic, not a ton of stuff to work with on here. But without further ado, let's get right into the Japanese Nintendo 3DS. And alright guys, with this one, I have a cool little custom splash screen with a Luma 3DS, which is the custom firmware that runs on my 3DS. Super cool. I didn't actually know about splash screens until, you know, I kind of got into this modding for this one. It's super simple. You basically just install it like you do any theme or anything like that. The 3DS load times aren't the best whenever you start getting tons of video games on it, like this one does. So on this one, you know, I have tons of themes and stuff like that, but I went with the Triforce Heroes one because I love Triforce Heroes. Me, my girlfriend, and my little brother were all playing through it. It is super fun. But the way I have this all categorized is very unique because, I don't know, I shouldn't say very unique, but I have, you know, some ROM hacks right there for Mario 64 for the new Nintendo 3DS. Super cool. This one's really cool because it has the 3D functionality. And then we got all of my Game Boy Advanced games, tons of them, ranging from Mother 3, which is a fan translation, which is super sick, to F-Zero, to Doom, to Castlevania, to all the Final Fantasies, to Zelda, all the Pokemons, even the elusive Sonic Advance that you cannot get anywhere. Super cool, man. I love all Game Boy Advance games. And then next we have the DS section, which is super sick, dude. It has tons of bangers like Contra 4, which I did beat on easy. Chrono Trigger, which is literally just a legendary game. Tetris, Mario Kart, Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, Metroid Pinball, all the Dragon Quest games. And then keep in mind that these are some really expensive games if you go out and decide to buy them, you know, physically. But these games right here obviously are pirated, and I encourage emulation. I don't mind saying that I encourage it, because how else are you going to get these super expensive games in an accessible way? You can't. Got all these got Pokemon Platinum, Soul Silver, Heart Gold, got Black 1, White 1, black 2, white 2, and then we start getting into the 3DS section right here, which is personally my favorite. Tons and tons of banger games, and some of these actually do display in Japanese, but they're not. They're actually the American version, because if you guys don't know, this is a Japanese 3DS at heart, because you guys can kind of see the Japanese right there. It's a Japanese 3DS at its core, but all these games are actually US custom firmware games, so they all run, you know, English and stuff like that, which is really, really sweet. You know, it's weird because sometimes the text for Dragon Quest VII is like not even in Japanese or English, which is a little weird, but it works in English, which is really, really sweet. You got games from like New Super Mario Bros. To Pushmo, to one of a game that is actually really, really slept on, Brain Age Concentration Training, banger of a game. You know, we got more games like Luigi's Mansion, which is a late new Nintendo 3DS title. You know, we got the sequel to that one. Then we start getting into some more obscure JRPGs that I actually really, really am glad that I was able to get on this, like Etrian Odyssey, Bravely Default 1 and 2, Dragon Ball Fusions, man. I can't wait to get into this one because, first of all, I love Dragon Ball, and a turn-based JRPG where you can fuse the characters together. Sign me up. Next, we got some really expensive Yokai Watch games. Yokai Watch 3 is pretty expensive. This one right here is like a $200 game. I saw it at my local GameStop. Crazy. We got some One Piece games. This one is especially bad, I see. And then we got some Shin Megami Tensei games like Shin Megami Tensei 4, Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner, Soul Hackers, just all kinds of different stuff. We have like Metal Gear Solid, Xenoblade Chronicles 3D, Radiant Historia, Monkey Ball, Professor Layton, you know, Mario Party. We have Hey Pikmin, Kirby, you know, we have Kid Icarus, we have Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. So many just banger titles. And then we start getting into the retro consoles, which is like, first off we have the Sega, you know, Genesis, which is like, I don't have much because I just, you know, Sonic is the only one that I'm really into out of the whole Sega kind of thing. But we have some NES games, tons and tons of NES games, and we start getting into the Game Boy, then the Super Nintendo, and then we just start getting into like some Mario Brother games and stuff like that. But yeah, that's actually it. Let me just flash show off some of these themes that I have on here. So the thing with the 3DS, there is tons and tons of themes that you can get on the Nintendo 3DS that are just beautiful. Like this one right here. This one is the Berserk theme. Like, you can't buy this on the Nintendo 3DS eShop, but this is just so sick to see. If you're a fan of Binding of Isaac, this one is here. I love Binding of Isaac so much. Got an Earthbound one. You know, some Pikmin one. We have like JoJo's, which is so sick. You know, we have this Metal Gear one, Mother 3, super, super sick. Like this one, high res photo of Mario Kart 64 as a theme, super, super cool, man. We even have some Japanese ones like Mario and Luigi Dream Team in Japanese, super, super cool. What are some other really cool ones? Like this Pokemon Evolutions one, really, really cool because if you look, their Pokemon, like all the different generations, it's super, super cool. This one's awesome as well. And they all have their own custom music and custom sounds whenever you like move it and stuff like that. It's really, really sweet. Breath of the Wild ones. There's tons and tons of like Majora's Mask, Zelda ones. There's thousands and thousands, but I only have like 38, as you can see. I'm not going to get into pretty much everything that the Nintendo 3DS can do while it's modded, but other than being one emulation beast, being able to play Sega Genesis, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, DS, 3DS, you know, it has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of games on its catalog. But some of the features, like I was saying, are, you know, the theme manager and stuff like that. FBI is a tool where you can basically scan QR codes and download full games and have entire games on your home screen. Super, super cool. You have full-on emulators like the Super Nintendo emulator. You have an NES emulator, tons and tons of stuff. You can even run PS1 games on this. I actually was able to run PS1 games on my original US version. Super, super cool. But some other stuff, like I was saying, HShop is literally the eShop, but you can download anything for free. Super, super cool. This one is really cool right here, the update or universal updater. This is basically a homebrew app store that you could just download ROM hacks. You can download, you know, cool stuff that can make like the light right here flash like in rainbow colors. It's just super, super cool stuff that you could do. But there's so much more stuff that I haven't even touched on. There's just tons and tons of cool stuff that you could do that I haven't really said. Yeah, guys, I love the Nintendo 3DS, and I just thought I'd show you the ultimate Nintendo 3DS that I brought home from Japan and, you know, basically made it my own with this custom firmware. Yeah, guys, I love the Nintendo 3DS, and I guess the question I'm trying to ask you guys is, should you guys pick up a Nintendo 3DS? And my answer to that is absolutely. I mean, if you're gonna pick one up for the collection purposes and you're trying to pick up some physical games, I would do it now before the games skyrocket in price, because with the closure of the Nintendo 3DS eShop, they have just been skyrocketing in price. So I would definitely recommend picking one up. Honestly, if you could pick one up for $150 to $180, even a super nice special edition one, and you could throw some custom firmware on that thing and get tons and tons of games on it. On this one, I currently have a 128 gigabyte SD card, and I have like about 30-ish gigs left on it, and I just filled it to the brim with games. Such a bargain deal, man. I spent about $170 on this in yen, like in USD, in yen. So worth it, because like I said, all these custom firmware abilities that I could do with like all these games is just so much hours and years of gameplay worth of fun. So in my opinion, yes, it's absolutely worth it. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. It's been the building the ultimate Nintendo 3DS. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was going to be down in the comment section. Later, guys.